Right now, I'm going to interview one of our deacons, Suleman Khokhar. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Rob. How are you?
I am well. How are you?
I'm keeping
I
well.
first want to ask you about your background. Tell us a little bit about your background, where you come from and grew up and went to school and those sort of things.
Good stuff. I was born in Pakistan. I went to a Catholic high school there. Then I went to an Anglican college. And after that, I joined the university. And just after finishing my degree there, I came to Canada in 1993. I come from a Christian background. My grandparents were Christians. My parents and their families are both believers. So I grew up in a Christian household. My father was also a preacher, along with other things that he did in life, which he still continues to do even now here in Canada.
Now, when did you actually come to Canada?
I came to Canada in 1993, September, after I graduated from my degree program in Pakistan. So in September, I landed here in a degree program at a Baptist seminary in Alberta. And 5 years later, I graduated with a degree in Master's of Theology and came to Ontario, where I held several jobs. I was pretty young at that time, so I had quite a few family friends here, a lot of networking and support from back home. So that helped at that time and allowed me to settle in. And I had different jobs here at that time. And yeah, met my wife. We got married in 2000. I always have to keep that date in mind.
Okay. Is your wife from Pakistan as well?
No, she is born and raised in the region of Peel in Brampton. Her family comes from India. She comes
Okay.
from a Sikh family. They're not believers, and but she did accept the Lord after we met. So she has been saved for a number of years now.
Okay. Did you meet her in Brampton?
I did. We were working together. She came in as a summer intern, and we started talking, and rest is history.
Okay. Yeah. And you have children now, right?
We have four children, 20, 18, 16, and soon to be turning 14, the youngest one.
Okay. Uh, Now, when did you come to Brantford?
We came to Brantford 5 years ago. We were, well, in Brandon. We in ministry for about 15 years. We started two churches there, and we were running back and forth. There were some people that lived here in Brantford that were part of our congregation. One of them was John. He was a worship leader. He ended up getting diagnosed with cancer, and a year and a half later passed on. This is how we got to Brantford. There was a place called Brampton Town. And eventually we moved. We loved the place. While we were coming back and forth with a friend of the church. And yeah, we made the move here. And ever since, this has been home.
And what work do you do now?
For the last 20 years, we've been operating a transport company. Actually, we started off with tractor trailers, and we were running across America. At one point, we were running Canada only. And in the mid 2000 recession, we lost all of that. And
Okay.
about a year or two later, I got back on the road again, started from scratch, and got blessed it. And maybe the big company again. Then after we moved to Brantford, just before that, we had ventured into some different aspects of the transportation industry, and we eventually ended up with construction sites and whatnot. So we operate a fleet of dump trucks now that supply building materials and that sort of thing. And this business has allowed us to stay in ministry in the past and do what we wanted to do, and also provided the financial flexibility to run the household and raise children, because we were always volunteering with the congregations that we were with. So that was pretty much on a full-time basis. So in ministry full-time, running the business full-time, and also wife was looking at household and 4 children full time.
Has the pandemic influenced your or hindered your business?
It had in the last number of months. For about 4.5 months, we were on a standstill, just doing a very little. But as of last week, we're back in full force, and things are just booming again. And we thank God.
When did you start coming to Central?
I think it would be about 3 years ago. When we moved to Brantford, we were checking out some other churches. There were some other friends that we have here in town. We went to different congregations and churches. And my wife always said, whenever we pass by Central, there's a Baptist church you need to check out. And I always said, you know what? Yeah, one day we will. But that one day kept being almost 2 years. And coming from a Pentecostal household to a Baptist seminary and graduating from there, I have to say that I do have the Baptist bug in my blood and I can't get rid of it. And first Sunday we went to Central, she said, you know what? I think we found our home church. I said, I just want you to be sure about it. Take your time. I want you guys all to be happy and comfortable. But prior to that, I had already made a phone call to the church office, and Pastor Allen had paid us a visit. So we did have a brief conversation about where the church and the theological standing was, if it lined up with the way I was raised and taught. And that went well. And following Sunday, we showed Central, and it was quite the stay. And never looked back ever since. And this has been my church since.
Good. And when did you become a deacon?
I became a deacon 2 years ago. That's after you told me I should become a church member. You had a lot to do with that move. And first year, I was asked to serve on CBA committee. So I served there for 2 years, and just recently, I've been asked to go and serve finance fees. So I'm enjoying all of those moves.
Okay.
And I thank God that, you know what, we found a loving family. Our 3 boys baptized here, and it's been pretty good.
That's great. And what does your wife do? I know she works, but
She is an assistant manager at local Shoppers Drug Mart just next to her house on King George.
okay.
And she started that off as just a perk because she was getting bored sitting home and not wanting to do anything else. And should I go and do something else? If you like,
Good for
go for it. So
good.
she went on part time. They offered her the management position, and she said, "Should I take it?" I said, "If you want it, go for it." And she likes it there.
Good. And how have the kids managed with the pandemic and not being able to go to school?
They've been driving us nuts.
Okay.
And we're hoping that the church would open up and we can get some kind of normality in place and kids can get back into youth programs, and life would be a little bit more less hectic. But overall, been pretty good. They've been pretty good.
That's good. Good. Well, I appreciate you sharing. And would you have a final word for the folks at Central as we continue in this separation and hopefully one day look forward to being together again?
Oh, absolutely. To the Central family, we thank you for the reception. We thank you for your, and we thank you for the blessing that you've been to us and in lives, and to the church leadership. Our sincerest gratitude. We are truly blessed to be members here at Central. And if I do it again, yes, absolutely, I would. And we just thank God for the church family and the leadership we have here, the caring arts and godly leadership that Central has provided overall to us and everybody else that come through those doors.
Well, thank you, and we appreciate your contribution as well. So that's Suleman Khokhar, one of our deacons this morning. Thank you so very much, Suleman.